But you never know that you could. And when you feel that way, ain't it good, good dancing in the red and gold. Dancing in the red and gold.
This is the 49er Faithful UK show, and we are live on Friday night. It's Super Wildcard weekend. 14 teams are left. Fans of 18 teams are all drowning their sorrows with mock drafts. Except fans of the Chiefs, of course, who are on Vinted trying desperately to buy back those Patriot shirts they sold 5 or 6 years ago. I'm Gareth Ellis, and joining me for this fun Friday night, it's Paul Hope.
What's up, Faithful?
And it's
time
Najee
to strike.
Kawar.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Good to see you, boys. Good to see you, boys. You know, we
Likewise.
flushed last week, didn't we? I think we
Last
were all
week?
giggling by the end of the
happened
show.
What happened?
There was some inconsequential game
It
that
snowed.
didn't really matter.
That's what I remember.
So, but yeah, feeling good. Well, we will see. We'll see who's feeling good, and we will see who's feeling dirty. So,
As we said on the show last week, Gareth, the last 10 number one seeds in the NFC haven't won the Super Bowl. So we're trying something different. And I have to say, I did receive some positive feedback, chaps, that we lifted the spirit of the group
good.
in our therapy session. So
Nice.
play your football, Gareth.
That's what we are here for.
Little reminder from Lee in the comments. He's watching. He's got the flu or
He's
the like of. He can't make it, unfortunately. But yeah, hope you get better before Sunday.
Absolutely.
And drop your score prediction in the group chat, Lee. Come on.
Yeah.
The game.
Yeah, well, he's waiting, isn't he?
He's third, so he's got time.
True. There we go then. Usually I say this to the end, but I think perhaps let's talk about some watch parties and stuff, Paul. I'm going to throw you by chucking that in at the beginning.
Throw me.
Oh.
I'm already prepared.
Oh, look at you. Oh.
With this lovely graphic that our friends at the 49ers kindly sent over. So do you know the rise of AI? You might have noticed that I've been trying to do the thumbnails. Our contact at the 49ers, I was like, have you got any graphics for this watch party? Yeah, kindly asked us to host. And I'm not joking, 5 minutes later, this was sent over. So yes, Gareth, on Sunday, the 49er Faithful UK will be hosting an official watch party on behalf of the 49ers. If you don't believe me, just go over to the San Francisco 49ers official Twitter account, official Instagram account, all the rest, it's there. But it will be at the Box in Leeds, 15 Infirmary Street, LS1 2JS. Now, the kickoff is 9:30. I believe, in true 49er Faithful UK style, we will be descending on said bar earlier than kickoff. So I believe that has been agreed, but officially our event starts about 9 o'clock just before kickoff. So very excited for this one, Gareth.
Well, we are going to be with the second game, aren't we? There's Buffalo at Jacksonville on at 6 p.m. So there will be a game for people to warm up for the evening. I've got to say, I've only really noticed it before, but it's quite fitting, perhaps, given our the way this season has gone, that the location is Infirmary Street. So maybe there's some kind of pun there, given that the amount of people on the treatment table at the 49ers. Tatum Bethune on IR now this week. Nobody surprised at that. But he does have a groin tear, which to me sounds absolutely horrific.
Yeah,
I know, a busted knee and what have you is bad, but groin tear. Get better soon, buddy. Get better soon.
I think I'd seen none of the linebackers that made the initial roster.
Yeah,
are actually on the roster at this stage of the season through injury. So I just thought it was pretty.
Got to
crazy.
laugh, didn't you? Got to laugh.
That's ridiculous. We had to do it at the Box because the blue tent wasn't available. We were trying to hire a big blue tent for all of us to go in, but
there's no room in the tent.
No room in the tent. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I am 100% coming now. Kev who's I think he's here. He's here. Kev is driving me down, so that's gonna be fun. And I think we're getting there for 6 or thereabouts. So watch the pre-game. I'm not sure. Is there a pre meetup? It's usually at the head of team, which is right around the corner. So I mean, I guess the word is if there we go.
There we are. I was going to say tell Lee, but he's there. He's on the board.
There. So I mean, just go to the head of team, and if there's people there early, they will be there. I'm guessing meet there, some pre-drinks, pre-food, and all that. And it'll be fun.
I think at Still the moment, Mr. Gowland is suffering, and we're not 100% sure of the plans because me and Lee were travelling down together. So if I'm travelling down on my own, I'll be similar to Nadji and Kev, where I'll be arriving at the box for about 6 because we are a 1-car family. Sort of steal the car. I do have to do some stuff beforehand. But obviously, if I'm coming down with Lee, we might be there a bit earlier. But I think the head of Steam, and like you said, Nadji, we've created the event page on Facebook and Discord. So just send some messages. I'm sure Sunday will be exciting. And if you want to know more information, just hit us up on social.
Well, I think it is quite simple. If you're there earlier, perhaps put your head in the head of steam beforehand, and if there's no Niners there, try the box, because I doubt there's going to be many other locations, is there? So hopefully we can keep it nice and easy, and hopefully Lee, you'll be on the mend by then as well. So,
and in true 49ers watch party style, they released the link. It wasn't accepting people's phone numbers. There was nothing to say you'd registered. So I have been told that there won't be a ticket for the Sunday's event, but Saturday you should get a reminder email. Now, there will be giveaways. I'm not going to show them. There is a box of goodies there. So everybody who attends the 49er Faithful UK watch party will be given a raffle ticket. And what we'll do at the end of each quarter, there'll be a prize draw. And we will obviously be giving some prizes away.
Oh, not Chris. Not our own insider. No.
And
oh dear.
To be honest, that just reminded me because Chris is there. So we have listened, Gareth, to the Southern-based Faithful in London. And Gary Thorpe has arranged a meet-up at Belushi's London Bridge. So there is a separate event, which is a 49er Faithful UK event only. Gary is managing that event. There is an event page on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, but you're on Twitter, hit Gary up. I think there's 4 or 5 people declared an interest at the moment, but our American Faithful that keep reaching out to me and asking where to watch the game in London, I'm sending them that way. So it may be that more attend, but Gary doesn't have the numbers at the moment. But exciting times too. Watch parties in the UK.
Well, there's also a virtual tailgate said by Sarah. So if you can't make any of those and you fancy getting with a bunch of Niners fan pre-game to tailgate together and enjoy the game together online, then you can do that. The links are on Facebook. The links are on Discord as well. I'm sure if you're on neither of those, hit us up. We can find the Zoom link, send it to you. It's usually good fun too. We did that for the draft. I remember that was great. And so yeah, free events for this amazing playoff game.
I mean, to be fair, chaps, we've gone 8 minutes in. Nobody in the chat has mentioned the dreaded C word, but I will say Will Gavin messaged me to say he will be representing out in Philadelphia covering the game. And when I told him we were having a watch party in Leeds, I won't repeat what he said, but let's just say, Will, you have to have more confidence and trust the process, buddy.
Absolutely. I think we've covered all of that, haven't we? Maybe we'll circle back to that in case at the end we'll do a quick summary, just because.
First 15 in the head of team, you get a free drink, it looks like.
Oh, what I think he's saying is Paul's driving. Those 15 tickets will be helping with his man flu. I'm just guessing, Nadji. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so at all. Do you feel ready for this game? I don't know. It seems to have come around quick to me.
Yeah,
maybe it's because I kind of back like other guys. I guess we're kind of back at work, back in the swing of the year. Yeah. It seems to have gone by sort of quite quickly, and I'm like, playoff game on Sunday.
I mean, to answer your question a different way, I think we're so used to the
So
playoffs.
to ignore it
No,
and say
no.
what you were
I
like.
can say so. I was at work today, and it's my boss Andrew is a Bears fan, and he asked whether I was nervous. But the look on his face, I was like, "You're a Bears fan. You're playing the Packers," and he was like, "I'm absolutely bricking it because all the pressure's on Chicago."
Mm,
And I was trying to say, Gareth, we're coming into this as the underdog, the number
Totally.
6 seed, injury record, 12-5. But I think the quick turnaround has been quite good for me anyway. I don't know about you two fine gentlemen.
Yeah, I've been very busy, so I agree. I feel like it feels like it's come around very quickly, especially that we're in the middle of college playoffs as well, and a great game yesterday. So yeah, it's all happening very fast, but that's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, maybe. Good
Maybe.
for us.
I mean,
Maybe not so good for some of the battered bodies on the
well,
Niners side of things.
I think the thing is at this point, an extra week, considering the extent of our injury, apart from the CMC knocks and the Kittle knocks, I guess. All the other ones, like another week, is not going to make any difference. Bethin's on IR. Everybody's on IR. They're not coming back, whether it's a week more or less. So, whatever.
Well, I
Let's
think
just play this game and see if we can win it.
Yeah, but I think that perhaps another week would have been useful for Trent Williams, Ricky Purcell,
Yeah,
Keon White,
maybe.
Luke Gifford, and D Winters, none of whom have practiced this week. So I think there's some potential game changers there. Williams, Purcell, Winters for sure. Keon White will be missed. And as we mentioned earlier, Luke Gifford is simply a body at linebacker. Though we have signed Kazir White, which was interesting to go with Eric Kendricks, who's obviously we signed a few weeks back, but I think has yet to make an appearance. But probably sounds like a sensible.
He was in the field quite a lot against the Seahawks.
Was he? Well, there we are then. That's on me for not noticing. Surely.
Yeah, well, didn't notice because he didn't do anything. Whatever.
I mean, to be fair, Gareth, we've talked all season about the injuries, and next man up isn't just a cliche for people watching. It is the culture this season for the San Francisco 49ers, and maybe the quick turnaround, like you said, we've all cast our mind back. You get the bye week in the playoffs, and some teams take a week off and then they come back rusty. I mean, a lot of people have been in my DMs and my mentions going on about that loss to Seattle. And as I keep pointing out to them, they only scored 13 points. Yes, we only scored 3. But, Shanahan, there's a lot riding on this game for me. Shanahan didn't really call the game how we expected against Seattle. And I know we are the underdogs, but going into this one, I mean, our playoff pedigree is there for all to see. We're either not in the playoffs or NFC Championship game at minimum, and that is the expectation of this fan base.
True. Very true.
Yeah,
very
so
true.
that's I think that's possibly at some threat this weekend. The Eagles, I think, are going to be fairly strong. I think I saw somewhere they've got 21 of 22 starters available for them. I think Lane Johnson, the tackle, is potentially going to be back, and he hasn't played since I think it's about November. And I think the rest of them, their injury report is a smattering of people who might have a paper cut here and there between them, or a minor bruise somewhere. So certainly a lot less beaten up than we are. And of course, they rested a lot of their starters for last week when they lost a meaningless game, if it's meaningless in division, to the Washington Commanders. So not really much can be taken, I think, from that game, given that they rested players and have practically had their bye week. And of course, it seems odd, but I think we kind of forget that the Eagles are in fact the defending Super Bowl champions. That season seems a long time ago now, and those performances that the Eagles were putting in 12 months ago do also seem a long time ago. But good teams do turn it on for the playoffs, and I think we're potentially we got 2 teams there who might be able to do that.
Hopefully. Again, hoping for a good game.
One team.
Hoping for a good game, which is not what we got against Seattle. Unfortunately, that was pretty boring. I think for everyone watching. But yeah, hopefully we can turn it on because we're gonna need to, definitely. All right, who should we look first? What do you want to see first?
Surprise me. Let's have a look.
I'll close my eyes and pick one. I don't know where it is. Defense. All right. Well, that's fitting considering our offense played in the last game. Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they? They're pretty good. It's hard to zero in on where their strength is because they're pretty strong everywhere. I think they've got superstars everywhere. Cooper DeJean, and I know Jalen Carter is in red here, but he'll probably play. And then Zach Baum and Nakobe Dean, all big names. Nolan Smith, all big names. They've got a very, very good defense. So I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about first? D-line, the rest.
D-line. I think my overriding impression of last week was how much the offensive line struggled, having had a 2 or 3 games back to back where the offensive line looked really quite good, and then utterly crumbled, I think, against the Seahawks. So that's probably going to be my main concern coming up against a potentially fresh, fearsome, and at home front 4, front 7.
Yeah, I agree too. The only thing that I'm happy about is that I don't see Hassan Riddick on this on this depth chart, because we know what happened the last time you played against us with that team. But yeah, I think they're very strong at front. That front 7 is definitely a handful. And even the backup, somebody like Jad Campbell. There's just people that used to play for Georgia and Alabama and all that. They're just good players all around. The Eagles have been very good at just selecting players that fit what they do really well, and them acquiring Jaden Phillips from Miami is probably huge for them, kind of turn their season around, I think. Otherwise, they would have struggled a little bit more. But yeah, we're just gonna have to play better and keep Brock upright, and that's gonna be very difficult with this. Especially I think the backfield is also very good and can punish mistakes pretty strongly. I think what we saw in the Super Bowl, Cooper DeJean with the pick. But Blankenship is very good, and Adoree Jackson can be very good, I think. It looks like they might be missing Marcus Epps, but Sidney Brown is also a decent safety. So I think it's going to take a complete game from our offense, which we have been put up. The games against the Bears was pretty good. I will say I think this defense is less good than the Seahawks one, but it's definitely better than the Bears. So yeah. Anything else?
Not disagreeing with anything you're saying. When I was preparing and I was clutching at straws, trying to be uber positive, the Eagles' run defense has been vulnerable this year, and it ranks 24th in some metrics. So that, for me, Najee, Shanahan needs to get the run game running, get CMC in there. Believe it or not, they're actually near the bottom of the league in explosive players allowed. And I think that's because, as you said, Najee, they do trust Cooper DeJean, Mitchell, kind of that aggression sometimes. And if Purdy can kind of use that aggression against them, and he can play in a clean pocket and obviously, keep the chains moving. Trent Williams is obviously going to be massive for us because we only got 173 yards last week. We need our offense firing on all cylinders, but I am trying to feel confident, Gareth, but listening to that there, seeing the names on the screen, I'm not as bullish. But Ricky Purcell, I'd love to see him there, Najee, stretching the field a little bit, because I think we struggled with that against Seattle. We didn't really have that deep threat, and Seattle were very aggressive on putting the pressure on Purdy. So, yeah, I'm kind of hoping that, and as well, in the red zone, I know that wasn't great for us last week, they're ranked 25th in red zone touchdown percentage allowed this year. So they tend to give up the touchdowns instead of forcing teams to go for field goals. As I said, Gareth, clutching at straws here, just what I've been preparing for tonight.
Yeah, I think they've got strengths at every level. and I think the cornerbacks in particularly can shut down a team with some firepower. We haven't got any firepower. Maybe in some kind of bizarre way, that's actually going to blunt one of their strengths. I think one of the risks is going to be Purdy trying to force it. I think he played a good game against the Seahawks. I think particularly sort of late. I mean, fair enough, we were always close, but I think he protected the ball well. I think when this is a lose and you out playoff game, I think there is a risk there if we are trailing late that's where Purdy's going to try some throws that aren't there because we've got no other choice. You can't blame him for doing that because what's the point? You lose by 10 or you lose by 20. So you've got to go for it. But I'm just concerned without Purcell. We know that Jennings is good. Jennings good, contested, good in the red zone, but he's not necessarily going to blow open a defense. I think Jacob Cowing might be practicing again.
Yeah, I
It's
did
going to be
see
a
some
big
footage
game.
of him
Yeah, big
running
game.
some routes, Gareth.
If he comes in, Kendrick Bourne has been very quiet, and again, he's not necessarily going to take the top off a defense. This is where Shanahan is really going to have an opportunity to build his reputation. If we can get some firepower out of this, because we know our run game's not been doing particularly well, and CMC, it's not necessarily all on him, but where's our threats going to be? We've got a tired CMC who can't run the ball, and we've got a banged up George Kittle. Where are we going to be able to attack this defense, Najee?
I think it needs to be, as I say, I think it needs to be a complete game. We need to see DeMarcus Robinson having a couple of key catches. We need to see Kendrick Bourne getting involved and not disappearing completely. We need to see JJ back on third down reliability. We need to see Jake Tonges and Luke Farrell actually executing their block and not missing assignments. It's going to take everyone playing a good game. It's the playoffs. Unfortunately, you can't. That us playing, the Panthers and the Titans is over. We have to play good teams now, and we're gonna have to not make any mistakes, and that includes the offense. Miss assignments, miss blocks is just gonna kill us. We can't stay behind the chain. We're gonna have to just hit like we did against the Bears, and then just drive and score pretty much every time. I think Vic Fangio is a good coordinator. He's been doing this for a long time, and he's been doing it really well for a long time. So I think that's what it's going to take.
Well against Shanahan.
Very well against Shanahan, indeed. Yes. I think it is going to take a complete game. There is not one thing that's going to beat them, unfortunately. I think it's going to be one of those games where we might struggle finding an MVP at the end when we win it. At the end of the game on Discord, because everybody will have had to have a good game if we want to beat them. I think the most important thing is not falling behind. There was this sense against Seattle that even though the score was only like 10-0, we couldn't do anything. We're gonna have to just generate some offense in one way or another. I really want to see Kyle not just bag of tricks and doing weird plays that you never see before, but just trying different things. Trying some screen games and trying some jet sweep and just bombing it downfield a couple of times to see if you can draw a penalty or something. Just trying. If something doesn't work, I don't want us to go back out 3 and out the same free play we had 2 drives ago, and just trying to force feed CMC and force feed Josh Kittle. It's going to take everyone, and that includes the coordinator and the coaches. I think that's what it's going to take because they're a good team.
And I think we need to start well. If we fall behind, the crowd will get behind them. If we can keep them quiet for the first 2 quarters, that crowd can be a little bit volatile.
And we're aware, absolutely. It is imperative that we stay in front for this. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for us. But not impossible. We have one shootout. We have been playing extremely well on offense, so it is possible. We could turn it on. But yeah, when you see the injury report and all that, it just makes it a lot more difficult. But yeah, I think if we get an MVP level Purdy, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, a lot of talk. Purdy's still a game manager. He's the engine. You go look at the stats. He didn't play great last week, Gareth, but nobody did. What I must say, the noise coming out of the Eagles has been a lot different because obviously we all remember the 2023 NFC Championship game, as Nancy said, no, we're all stood in Leeds. Purdy goes down. We answered when we went back a year later and we put the 42 points on them. But this week, Sirianni, who I'm not normally a fan of, he spoke quite well about the Niners, about the season we've had, about Shanahan. So I think as well, Gareth, that they're approaching this game, you know, they're not taking us lightly. You know, the number 6 seed coming in is normally seen as a bit of a, should you really be there? But because the NFC West is such a tough division this year, the fact that we finished third with a 12-5 record, and we're
better than the
battle-tested.
Eagles, I think, isn't it? It's better than the Eagles
and
record.
you know, a couple of NFL fans that I talked to who were in that division with the Eagles have said they're not the same team as last year. And sometimes that can happen. You reach the mountaintop, you know.
Yeah, they lost coordinators.
Just give me one. Yeah, and you know, you win the Super Bowl. They've come back into the playoffs, but you know what I mean. Sometimes there's that turnover and that kind of that hunger of, well, we've already done it, but you know,
and they are helped by pretty much a dumpster fire division.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, the Commanders were very injured.
26 minutes in and we've got our first Cowboys dig. Well done, Gareth. Well done. It means 49ers playoff shows live.
And Giants, after Giants. They took Scotty-Boo. I hate them. I hate the Giants.
Let's flip it over. Let's see what whatever's left of the Niners defense is going to have to face. Paul, start us off with this one.
As I've said, I think Richard in the chat here is saying that the crowd hasn't been happy with their offense this year. And when I was talking to my boss at work today, I said, this game's very easy. Stop Barkley. Don't let Jalen Hurts throw out all his weapons and don't let him run around. I mean, what could be more difficult than that? But Jalen Hurts hasn't been great this year. That might come back to bite me, but he hasn't been accurate. And as people are seeing from watching this Eagles team, they're not the same offense that powered them to the Super Bowl last year. And similar to us, they tend to stick to the game plan. And when it's not working, they don't seem to change it. And I mean, I suppose people would argue, well, you use CMC a lot. They use Barkley, and I don't blame them for that. But I mean, Goddard there, he'll be a massive miss. He's in red on the screen. Yeah. I don't know whether he's playing because I think he's
limited
a lot this year.
He's doubtful, so he might not play. Yeah, that's a big miss for them for sure. He broke the record for reception by a tight end, I think, which says a lot because they used to have Zach Ertz.
And would you have a wide receiver like Smith, you know, throwing his toys out the pram, scrubbing the social media, not getting enough targets? I mean, that would never happen to a franchise like the 49ers. So it was good to see it happening to another franchise. So sorry, chaps, I had to get that in there.
I did also pick up another name, Grant Calcaterra, the backup tight end, is also on the injury report. So that could be something that, you know, particularly if those guys are important in their pass blocking scheme as well, there may be an opportunity for us to get after Jalen Hurts, who I know he's a good runner, I think, when he's down the field. But I've never seen him as being perhaps that elusive to the pass rush in the way that, you know, certainly Purdy is.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. And they've just completely stopped using him as a runner. I don't know. Clearly, Kellen Moore going wherever he's gone. Can't remember now.
Saints power in the Saints offense. So
that's right. Yeah. They're struggling finding a rhythm. Kevin Patullo, their OC. But yeah, they're not using him. They don't do those draws and things that they've specifically designed for him anymore for some reason. And that's hurting them quite a bit. But he's also just a very good quarterback when it matters. He just wins big games. He's always very good in big games. And I'm actually quite afraid of Jalen Hurts more than I am of Saquon Barkley. I think a lot has been put on Barkley, and I'm not sure he can shoulder the pressure that the entire city of Philadelphia has put on him after the incredible performance that he had last year. But I think Jalen Hurts will just turn it on because he always does. He's done it since he was at Alabama, and hopefully Gav, they don't design those QB runs again, because we have struggled stopping anyone running, especially last week. And it is to be expected when your D line is half of what it should be, and you have no linebacker left that you had in August or September or October, actually, even maybe later than that in the season. So it's going to be a tall order. They've got a very good O line, although they are getting a little bit old and they're clearly struggling a little bit more than they have been in the past. I think it's just dangerous because they could also just scrap Saquon Barkley completely and just throw it to AJ Brown, and that could just work because he's amazing too. So, you know, I think our defense is going to have a hands full, and we're going to have this time to have a little bit of luck and get away with some takeaways. I think a pick, a fumble, something that can change the momentum of the game. If our offense can keep it close, is going to be needed. I think last week we'd had that fumble and not the pick, the CMC one.
Fine margins.
Fine margin. It's the playoff. It's even worse, but we're going to have to find a way of generating some turnovers, and we do have it in us. I think we have some ball hawks. Mustafa and J.R. Brown can hopefully put a bit of a better performance and play and turn the game around.
When they can hold on to it, I think it will be a similar plan to Darnold, and that's try and make the run game as ineffective as possible. And we're going to say try and put it in Jalen Hurts and get him to throw it, because that's probably where our chances are, making those plays and getting a turnover, interception, tip pass on third down, maybe even a sack on third down, that sort of thing. We know that we're not going to be able to stop teams getting yardage. We've got to try and get a play here and there, and that's forcing your opponents into either a little bit less comfortable or at least higher risk plays. So that's what I can see Salah doing much the same with what he's got. And hopefully some of these guys are going to be disappointed with some of their performance last week. I think as a team, it wasn't too bad. 13 points isn't bad. I think if we can do the same, some of those fans in the stadium will be very unhappy if the Eagles were only at 13 points by the third quarter.
Can you imagine the field, the crowd, if they only score that? I mean, to be fair, you were talking there, and I just pulled the stats up. Given that Hurts is a mobile quarterback, believe it or not, they've used shotgun on nearly 78% of their snaps, and they're ranked bottom 5 for the kind of pre-snap motion. And it just makes me think Salah, obviously a lot of talk about him getting head coach interviews. We talk about Shanahan being under pressure. This could be a game for Salah to come in, and if he can shut down these superstars. And what's quite random is the coordinator at the Eagles has been criticised, Najee, for basically his vanilla scheme by letting the superstars play. And apparently the Eagles fans are not happy because the scheme isn't creative. And you're looking at some of the names on there, like you said there, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. If we just had one of them on our side of the ball, you'd just think, wow. But I mean, it's not a knock on Bourne, but I just hope he stays vanilla and he doesn't go into his bag of tricks on Sunday.
Yeah. Though, if we can disrupt them enough that they've suddenly got to do something out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, so there's some comments about the weather, not just over in the US, but as well.
It might snow in Philadelphia, right? It gets pretty cold, pretty windy down there, wherever that is. And that could be a huge factor that could help us a lot. It's ultimately, I think what's really cool is watching Saquon Barkley versus CMC. I know they do like versus whatever, when it used to be Peyton Manning versus Drew Brees and Peyton Manning versus Brady and all that kind of stuff. I think like these two are the two best running back in the game right now. Maybe with Derrick Henry if the Ravens used him a bit better. But it's just going to be cool to watch these two guys on the field at the same time and watch two good teams going at each other.
I mean, our defense isn't on the stat sheet very good, but the Eagles' offense, 28th in passing offense, and they average less than 185 yards per game. Now, that stat might come in useful for the bonus points on the other side of the ball, Najee, because this week's bonus, me and Gareth had totally forgotten about that in all context. And just before you joined us, I pointed out to Gareth what the bonus was. But this Eagles' offense isn't the juggernaut, and they are the defending Super Bowl champions. And I think we are giving them the respect. But to bring it round, Gareth, sound like John Chapman, I just want to believe. I'm excited. It's playoff football. It's Friday night. I'm obviously going with the Niners win. You've already filled it in on the spreadsheet. But I just think Robert Saleh, I just think this is the time. Next man up. We said it's not a cliche for the 49ers. And Nadji, if you could pick one defender to get a pick six, I'm putting you on the spot here as a bold prediction. Who would you go for on the Niners defense to get a pick six just to shut the crowd up? Just if you could have one wish and that was it. Who's the one you're picking?
I want it to be Mustafa, but I think it'll be Demo. It'll be Demo. Demo Leno will get a pick.
See, you heard it here first. Bold prediction from Nadji, early doors. I like it, buddy. I like it.
Well, I think I don't think I've got anything more to say about the Eagles' offense as such. I think we've covered it on our defensive side and our defensive scheme. I don't know that we're going to be able to get a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts. He is going to have time. It's going to be how they scheme up to use it. I think we're not necessarily going to beat them in the trenches here, and maybe that's where it's like, well, actually, let's not really try. Let's just drop those linebackers back into coverage and say, come at us, because we can't get after you. We're not going to bite on that and end up out of position. We're going to have to sit back and we'll give you some yards, but force you to execute play after play.
I mean, we're going to do the bend but not break. But one thing that I was worried about,
it's going to be very bendy.
I was watching a show last night and they were talking about forcing the Eagles into 3rd and long. And I was thinking, I don't want 3rd and long. Niners fans don't like 3rd and long, but the Eagles do have one of the highest 3-and-out percentages in the NFL, and they can't run on 1st and 2nd down. So as I said, Gareth, I've been clutching at straws. I've been looking at all the positives, but it should be, as Nadji said, a good game.
Hopefully. That's what we want.
Hopefully it's a good game. And of course, the pressure is on the Eagles. They are at home. They are the defending champions. We are beaten up and pretty much unfancied. I've read a few things. I'm sure people have during the week about how people think the playoffs are going to go. And literally no one mentioned the Niners at any point in several articles that I read about who's going to win it and who might be your surprise winner. And we're not even mentioned in either. So maybe not a good sign if that's the consensus, but it's a weird old season. So
yeah. So Mr. Gavin claims to be a Niners fan. He predicted an Eagles win, and I also believe he's predicted a Rams Super Bowl win. So Will, I know you probably have to be a little bit less biased than us. And the only reason that you haven't seen those articles, Gareth, is because me and Nadji don't write them. I'm sure we might have to tip the balance a bit more.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of which, have we got a graphic for the predictions? Shall we go on to that?
Yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot to queue it up, so it's going to take me.
That's fine. We got that one. We will talk amongst ourselves. Has anyone been joining us? Have you kept an eye on a number of people watching, Paul, amongst your many multitaskings that you do?
According to the top corner, it says 15, but we're not bothered by metrics in
no, it was more to cover if we've had people join who won't have heard about the watch parties, but we'll mention it. We'll mention it at the end.
We can't have our show piggybacking on.
And I am just stalling for
every week and getting 1,000 views. Not that we care about numbers.
Well, Nadji does his magic.
And there it is. Here's the table.
So how tight is it at the Leeds? Because of course this is the first time this could be the last game of the season.
Absolutely be the end. Here the standing. It is 1 point with the Paul Faithful and Gareth, and 2 points with me, and a little bit more for Lee and Paul. I think Paul's going to have to score perfect if he wants to win this, whilst not being anywhere near anybody else. 6 points for Lee, so it's still a good week with no one else scoring points. I think would probably make it clinch it if we lose. If we lose and we're out, because if we win, there's one more game,
Indeed.
and then another.
What is the extra point, Paul? You mentioned it briefly, but
it's yards per play.
For Niners, just for the
Niners.
Yes.
So Kev has clarified. So this week's bonus is yards per play. we've had yards per pass and rush. This is a combination of both. So this would be rounded up. So if it works out at 4.4, it would be 4.5 and such and such and such. And so Kev is in charge of that, but it is the bonus is yards per play. That is what
That's
we're
correct.
going for this week.
So do we have to, can we
handpicked.
guess? Can we guess a 0.5 or do we have to guess a
Yeah,
whole
you can
number?
go halves. You can go halves. It will be
So
rounded
it will be to the
nearer
closest
half.
0.5 or 0.0 as it goes.
Kev is here. Can let us know. I think so. I think it's to the half.
Oh.
Kev will also be there on Sunday, so please feel
will.
free if you've got any queries about this. I'm joking, Kev. I'm joking. It's just all good fun. All good.
No, but
Although
I think Kev deserves some refreshment. I think for all the work he's done. If you are a watch party,
absolutely,
and are so inclined.
So
Yeah, well-
because we did yards per pass and yards per rush, so this is
a
why
combination
we
of
do yards
both.
per play. So it's a combination. It'll be an average of that.
So
I can't remember what we
give-
did. I can't remember what we did, but Kev will.
Before you give your scores, I'm running the tip jar at the bottom because our good friend Chris Wood came up with a great idea that if you're going with dirty points, it only feels right to tip the balance. And if you would like to, I'm joking, but I just wanted to say thank you, Chris, because he did reach out and ask where he could donate. And his message to me on Discord was he had to repent for his dirty points. But there's going to be no dirty points this week, Nadji. Surely there's no dirty points.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Yeah, and the tip jar traffic has been much appreciated.
Absolutely.
This week. We've got StreamYard to renew, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's expensive.
That's where it goes.
That is where it goes.
It isn't our refreshment fund. It pays for this platform. So
thank you to those who've contributed. I did put a message on Facebook because Richard put a message in the Facebook group to basically point out that was there. And as you said, we don't expect anybody to. We do this because we enjoy it, but it was much appreciated.
It is much
appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I've completely let myself go and not covered some of the important stuff. The Eagles are 4.5 point favourites, and the over under is 44.5. Just so if you go there. Well, I'm going to have to go tactical. I'm going tactical this week, so I'm going to go for an Eagles win. And the reason for this is, of course, if I'm right on that, there's a good chance that that will be the end of the predictions league, and I'll be crowned the winner. But of course, if I'm wrong, I'll get another game to possibly come back.
Oh, this is clever. This is very clever.
Sadly, Eagles win 20-17.
I'll look forward to seeing your donation in about half an hour, Gareth, to the tip jar. Dirty points cleanse. I'm joking.
And the yards per play, I will go for 6.5.
I'm not sure we're doing halves because there's no halves.
Call it 7. Call it
7. Let's do 7.
Yeah. So and of course last week I thought gut feeling I was going to go with the Seahawks. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and of course, so with the reverse psychology, you see, I will gladly be runner up if we get another game.
Well, as long as Gowland doesn't.
So I can't lose. I can't lose.
You can't
but
lose.
I do feel dirty. I do feel dirty.
It's okay, Gareth. It is all a bit of fun. Vote how you want to vote.
Unfortunately,
except for Lee, it's more important than life itself.
Unfortunately, that is exactly what I was going to do, and I'm going to have to pivot.
Well, exactly. You see, I'm going to force your hand now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well played. So I'm going to go for a Niners win. I think we can win this game. I've changed my mind. I think we can win this game, and we can win this game 24-21. And we will have 8 yards per play. And if I nail this, then
you've stolen,
the game after
it.
Yeah, the game after this won't matter. Hopefully, maybe if we lose, the score is closer to mine, and I get points and catch up. You never know. But here's my prediction: Lee's sent his.
I was going to say Lee has sent his.
Lee should have put that on the ticker that we could put up at the bottom of the screen.
I have screenshots, Gareth. Don't you worry about that, son. Don't you worry about that. Go on, Nancy, you can read it out.
He says Eagles win 27-17. That is a beat down. A little bit. 10 points. Yards per play. What did he say? 6 yards per play. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
In fairness, he did say hopefully he's wrong, but
Yeah,
sadly,
he did say that.
I
He did
think
say
our
that.
season ends on Sunday night. But as Gareth said, he should have dropped that in the chat for everyone to see. But it's all right, Lee. You know, at least you've given us the score. And last but not least, now
never least.
I did wrestle Gareth with playing this properly and thinking, right, to win the trophy, if it is the last game, would be pretty funny. But then I thought, you've already put the Niners win in there. And then I listened to Nadji, and he always gets me fired up. It won't be the blowout we saw in 2023, but the Niners have the edge in this one. I think it's a 27-23 victory. And I'm going to say a whopping 10 yards per play. And I think if I get that spot on, if I get a second 100% score, get the bonus and jump to the top of the table.
If you can have it, this is the week to do it. I sincerely hope you are going to be right there. So, but yeah, all to play for. Hopefully, everybody else.
Thank you so much, Gav. Thank you so much for the £2 most total boombox walkout this season. Yeah. I mean, we haven't really been doing it. I think that might be one of the reasons why we've been struggling.
I think we have. I think we just haven't been seeing it.
Oh, okay.
We can still got Boombox Guy. I think they've seen them doing the dancing in the tunnel. So
I have seen him do the dance in the tunnel. Yeah, I mean, I just think we said it before. This with the plucky underdogs, for want of a better word, but this team believes in itself, and we're not frightened on going in the road, and we've been into hostile environments like this. But it's interesting that if we do win, well, when we win this game, all of us will be happy, but I'll be even more happier because I'll have jumped so many points up. It's great.
That's right. That's right.
Totally. There's some other wildcard games this weekend. I think we don't want to dwell on them too much, but Rams at Panthers. Have they got Panthers got a chance?
I hope so. That'd be class. Come on, the Panthers.
It would be fun. It would be fun. No, they're terrible.
No, but this does have bearing on us, potentially on us. Packers at Bears. If the Bears win and the Niners win, of course, we will be heading back to Seattle straight away, because the Packers would be the number 7 seed and out. So the only people that the Seahawks could face other than us if we both win. Have the Packers got a chance at the Bears?
The Bears are feeling very bullish, but it's a massive rivalry game.
It's a divisional rivalry. It's not, anything could happen. It's going to be horrible weather. Anything could happen.
As my friend Andrew said at work today, he wanted to snow. He wanted to snow really badly. He doesn't want Caleb to touch the ball, and he wants them to do with the Packers what we did, where Jimmy didn't throw the ball. So that's what he's hoping for. So that was straight from the horse's mouth, for want of a better word.
Yeah, I think the Packers could ambush the Bears there. Divisionals, it's always odd, isn't it?
It's always weird.
But they've got that experience. I haven't really checked how the heads went this year, but yeah, the Packers could nick that.
They could.
Buffalo at Jacksonville.
That's an interesting game. I think the thing is, Josh Allen could just turn it on and the game won't be close because he's just that good. But the Bills have been kind of so-so, although they're still in it, despite losing the AFC East. So,
and again, maybe a bit like us, they've underwhelmed perhaps this season. They've not won their division, but they're kind of pleased that the Chiefs are out, who have habitually knocked them out. I think over the last few years, haven't they? They haven't been able to get past the Chiefs. So,
I think the whole NFL were happy the Chiefs are out, Gareth. Not just them. Everyone was like
everybody. So yeah, there is a chance. Only one person to go for this. Nadji. Chargers at Patriots. Who have you got?
Chargers, always the Chargers. Justin Herbert's gonna light them up. No, it's tough. The Patriots have been really good. Oh no, don't tell me they're back. Oh,
another 20-year dynasty for the Patriots.
I know.
Soul crushing for people would be wanting the Chiefs back. Things would be that bad.
Oh yeah, I know.
But at least it's not really cheap. You should have said to tune in to the Chargers podcast, and then that's what you should have done there. Because to be honest, everyone knows you've got a soft spot for your boy Herbert. But Jim Harbaugh, I think you'll have them ready.
Yeah, no,
for this.
it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game. I
Mm.
think there's definitely a lack of experience on the Patriots side in the playoffs anyway. That might bite them a little bit. It might be too big of a game for them, but we'll see.
As you
Haven't
said
got
at
the
the start,
experience,
Gareth,
so, mm.
as you said at the start, I've seen a lot of Chiefs fans suddenly become Patriots fans, and there's been a lot of flip over on vintage. Connor's making a fortune. I know that much. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, Texans at Steelers.
I just want Texans to win. Just
Yeah.
let Rodgers ride in the sunset and
The
let
Steelers
them
just
make
too
all our
boring.
game. Yes,
Well,
it is.
You know, and you know, Metcalf. I know we laugh at him, but
That too.
the Steelers are just, you know, they're perpetual win the division and one and done. They seem to be stuck into that at the moment. We touched on it, didn't we? Black Monday. Few predictions. Harbaugh going. It was a bit of a shock for some people. McDaniel went. I mean, that was a shock for me.
Yeah.
I thought he
Yeah, it was.
survived the middle of the season and survived Black Monday. Do you reckon Harbaugh's firing has suddenly made some people push from ownership, thinking, well, I'll stick with what I've got, but suddenly the thought of getting a Super Bowl winning coach, do you reckon that's kind of factored in there? Maybe not that Harbaugh will definitely go to Miami.
I don't know. The Miami one is a bit weird. It's so late in the
Yeah.
process. Usually the owners take decision pretty fast. Maybe they actually find a GM. Maybe the whole Troy Aikman advising and all
think
that stuff. Maybe he just said, "Look, get rid of him."
They have, and didn't I see that on the news? Who was it? Yeah, Dolphins expected to hire John Eric Sullivan, who is, if you bear with me, from some other team.
We forgot,
Okay.
chaps.
Green Bay Packers, Vice President of Player Personnel. Apparently.
Okay. Well, that'll be why then. He might have said, "Look, I'll come, I'll sign, but I don't want this guy. I want my guy."
Yes, I want McDaniel gone. So.
I mean,
But that means we could get him back next year. Yay! That'd be good.
Boldies, thank you, Lee. It's good to see you here on reminding us for some boldies. I was going to finish with those really, since it might be a bit of fun. He's stolen my thunder again, though. He's not even on the show, and he's got Purdy with a 50-yarder, because I think it could well be Purdy touchdowns. Might well be the X factor. Purdy 3 Dougies, nice.
3 Dougies, that'll be good.
Stefanski's has been interviewed by. And all I was going to say, Gareth, as an NFL fan, 25% vacancies in the league is a bit crazy at the moment.
It's a mad season, and I think people have seen things shift as well. That suddenly it is wide open. The parity is there. That people are thinking, well, actually, this is the chance. In any number of franchises could now go on a run for a few years, I think. Or I think this could be a year where, as long as it's not us, the team that wins it might be a kind of one and done team as well. Somebody grabs their opportunity, wins it, and then the balance of the universe is restored, and they go back to being mediocre.
Yeah, could be. There's definitely a shift in perception of teams, and that's going to be different next year. Ravens and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Boldies. I think CMC will rush for 150 yards.
Oh, that is bold.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say Ricky Purcell gets his first playoff touchdown and has 100+ yards on Sunday.
That's bold for a guy who's not practicing.
Lee said I have to.
He's on the field. He's running around on the field, so he could be practicing.
And Lee will like this one because he loves JJ. I think Jennings catches 2 touchdowns in the first half, and we really quieten the Eagles fans, and they all score very quiet. So I'm trying to take a leaf out of Gowland's book. Now, you told me actually,
also,
so I'm trying.
Definitely not Ball, but he's going to get into another fight with somebody.
Yeah, that's
what he does. That's what he does.
I've got. I was going to say.
I like that.
Tonjes, I was going to say, is going to get like a big 3rd down conversion, something absurd like 3rd and 24. and he's going to rumble it in. But I unfortunately I can't give the Tonjes the touchdown because I've got Sky Moore doing that on some kind of trick play, a reverse, some kind of rushing play where Sky Moore is going to get the ball in his hands, not a kick return, and run it in, along with like a Purdy 1 yard tush push, which would just
that would
be
be good.
funny.
That would be good. Just
And if
bet your
anybody-
house on it. I'm not going to bet my house on it, but
I was
just
gonna say,
I'd bet
Najee,
your
Gav-
house on it.
Gav
Yeah, but
does
you're-
love
yeah.
juice more than Jay Peplow loves being positive for the Niners. So I had to share that one because that isn't bold. If you know Gav at all, that isn't a bold prediction. The final boldy, Gareth, is I'm the only fan on this side of the pond that is going to predict a Niners win. When we look at Kev's spreadsheet tomorrow, it's going to be dirty points all the way through. I just have a feeling people are going reverse psychology.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Well, Najee's predicted the Niners win.
I did.
So
I did. We're winning.
you're
We're
not
winning.
I'm hopeful that you two guys will show me up.
We don't go on the spreadsheet,
that's
though.
bold,
That's
Mark.
what I was
That's
meaning.
very bold.
A 2-0 away win. Nice.
Oh, I'd take it. Best watch party ever. 2-0 win.
2 point. Yeah, I mean, I take a win. Don't care. All right.
There we go, Paul. Do you want to mention anything about the watch parties?
Well, I know there was a few grumbles when the watch party in Leeds was announced, but to give the 49ers their credit, it was done obviously short notice because they had to wait till we're in the playoffs. They have supported us behind the scenes. Rocky and the team have been amazing. As I said to you, chaps off air, the graphics and things like this, the fact that they've shared it on their official social media, it's shown that they're taking us seriously. And we actually were shared by the NFL UK account, which I think I'm even more stunned about than the 49ers because they've been working quite right. But I've seen a few comments, chaps, about jerseys. Wear the black rivalry jersey if you've got it. Wear your red, wear your white, just whatever.
Yeah.
Just turn up.
Turn up.
It doesn't really matter.
Who cares?
I have seen a few people saying it's their first watch party. So again,
Nice.
I know me and Najee are both there. If you want to come in, introduce yourself. If you want to be on your own, be on your own. But effectively, the second you walk into the box, you're with family, you're with friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul and I will make the rounds, and introduce ourselves, and make sure everybody's happy and just feel welcome. But then, if you just want to sit in a corner and watch the game all by yourself, that's totally cool with us. Some people are going to be chanting. Some people are going to be just watching again with their friends and chatting about it. Some people are just, they have to just absorb it and be by themselves. That's however you want to watch the game, you do you. It's all good to us. We're not pushy, and we're not gonna include you in anything you don't want to. Don't forget there'll be some raffles though, so I don't know how we'll do that exactly yet, but we'll do that. And then,
well, funny you mentioned that, Najee. I think me, you, Kev may be tasked with that, but basically on Sunday, everybody who attends will be given a raffle ticket, and I think the box have kindly agreed to help out with, kind of the microphone side of things, and we'll announce it. But it's a kind of learn as you go. So it is an official 49ers watch party hosted by ourselves, something that I still can't get over that we're hosting. Unfortunately, Gareth won't be joining, but myself, Najee, and Lee will be there. Is a bit far.
I'm saving it for when we're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time we were in there, we beat the Lions in an improbable comeback. So
I have mentioned that a few times to the dreaded C word, Najee. So and it is all tongue in cheek. But what I will say, Gareth, before we finish off, I do believe that once you've been to an event like this, being an NFL fan in the UK is quite niche, and you sat at home normally and you're watching the game on your own. To be in an environment where you can cheer, you can go through the emotional roller coaster, you can go through the highs and the lows. And as you said, Najee, we're not a pushy group. We've had many people attend who've sat and done their own thing. You do you, but what we're saying is, don't be a stranger, get involved, and play off football, chaps.
Let's go.
Just since it is postseason, who are we going to beat in the Super Bowl? Give us the
Broncos.
team.
Yeah, I think it might be Denver. Bills or Broncos for me are going to be there from the AFC, which isn't bold, I know.
It's going to be the Chargers, partly because it'll annoy the Rams, and partly because it'll be really difficult for Najee.
Yeah, kinda. I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of Harbo, to be completely honest. So.
Yeah, you're going to see what Naji's going to have a Herbert shirt underneath, and then whichever way it goes, he's taking the shirt on off.
I think
Both, yeah.
I think I might have said Broncos right back on the preview show. I'll have to dig that out.
Oh, really?
And go and have a listen. So yeah, if any of you are travelling up and want a good laugh, go back to our big season preview pod in very late August probably, and see what utter nonsense.
Rambling nonsense. I did predict 12-5. I think I was the only one doing so. So
yeah, I think I was down at about 10-7. So seeded.
Take the
Great
wins.
Stuff.
Yeah.
If only there was a trophy handed out for that, Naji. Yeah, he'll be on that now.
know.
But well
Maybe...
done. Credit where credit's due, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe we'll do a trophy for the most baldy that hits at some point. That'd be funny.
Do you want to wrap us up, Paul?
I do, yeah. I didn't want to cut anyone off, but I just want to say thank you both for joining me. Friday night, playoff football. Naji, man hug on Sunday. Can't wait for that. Gareth, you'll be manning the game day thread on Discord because I'm sure that'll be just as electric. But it's playoff football, baby. And as John Chapman said, trust the process. Trust. We're going to do this, everyone. It's happening. And we will be back next week, I promise, talking about our glorious win. So until next time, everybody. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
We love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, deep Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99. Don't get it twisted, one and all with prime time. John Taylor, Jerry Rice down the